Put in another trim of plywood going around here, follows up to the edge here and back down where that goes. I was originally going to put an inlay like this. I kind of experimented cutting some ply, putting the edge up, gluing it together, and depending on the orientation of how these are put in, depends on the pattern of how they come out. I figured I'd be able to make a big plank of it and then cut it to size, fit it in there. But what I've actually decided to do is make life a little bit harder for myself. It's not actually that hard to make a hexagon. So I'm going to make a very, very, very small version of this, probably about yay round. And then, a bit like how they make those little boiled sweets, they make a big stick of it, they chunk it up, and then they wrap them up in the individual wrappers. But what I'm going to do is make a long one, chop it up into loads of little bits, and then lay them flat on their back and glue them all together. And hopefully, I'll end up with a plank of pretty hexagonal patterns like that. So I've cut some, essentially, a rhombus and cut them into really long strips. Then you stick 3 of them together and you get a pretty looking hexagon on the end. So this is going to be cut into loads of pieces and then laid flat and then all glued together. But also what you can do by sticking 2 of these together is you can get an 8. Now, in theory, I've not got a clue, but you should be able to multiply this and then fit this corner into here and this corner to another one here. So essentially take that and move that over, and they should all interlock. Made a cool little further adjustment to my Rode Wireless Go microphone. It's a cute little haircut. I think this should be a standard feature. While I'm trying to make my final decision on how to have these laid out, I'm going to put them to one side because we now have taps and we have attachment clips and somewhere another tap. Let me go find them. Boom! Double tap. So got some little hexagons. These are going to be mounted to the wall. Those are going to go on there like that. Flush to the wall. Copper pipe coming straight down into them. Held on by fancy little clips. Well, they're not that fancy. Apparently they're called Munson clips. Or Munson rings. Something like that. we've got some of these from making that. Slightly thicker. What we're going to do is hopefully drill through here to create some spaces. These bolts will go through the wall, through the spacer, and then into that, meaning that the clip will sit flush on that. So let's go over to the vise. Let me sharpen this. Boom, boom, boom. Let's go. We've got countersink screws and we've got flat holes. So I'm going to have to countersink these holes slightly. I'm going to have to make an infill for there. I've just heard it split. Nobody's ever going to see that. So it doesn't have to be so tidy or so cool looking. Boom! That's probably the easiest thing I'll do all day. Each of these green bits of tape is essentially where the pipe's going to run. I've decided that instead of having 2 of these on each pipe, which is going to go with 1, seems a little bit overkill to have 2 on each pipe, considering the tap's going there. If you have 1 there and 1 up there, it'll be absolutely mad. So we're going to go with that. The pipe should come straight out of this cupboard here, I'm hoping. Maybe with a little bend because there's a lot of aluminium frame in here, or I might just bend it out of this cupboard so it looks like it's coming out the wall, boom, straight down. You don't need a grinder to use a grinding pad. Where's my one of them gone? Right, I'm going to stick these in the drawer. Remind me that I've stuck these in the drawer. I know what you mean, there's only 1 drawer in here. That's pretty much the gist of how these are going to go. Pipes in. We're going to go with a 90-degree bend at the top to take it through this wall into the cupboard, and then it's going to go straight down inside the cupboard. Just because I wanted this lovely bit of decorative piping. The water's going to have to come up a little bit further and then down. Shouldn't be too much of a problem because I'm going to get a powerful pump. Tap's going to go there, and the other tap obviously is going to go at the same height, but on the other pipe. And I don't know if you can see this from that angle, but this white bit down here showing through, you're imagining that, because I'm going to trim that up. I'm going to trim over that. That little white gap that I just showed you, up the side of the sink. Quite an easy fix. Got a bit of this that I used to line the corners of the shower. Bit of black leather. Got to scuff this up with a bit of sandpaper. Wipe that, boom, boom, stick that there. Contact adhesive. Quite simple. Spray that. Spray that. Spray the back too. Leave it to dry for a little bit. Slide it up a bit. I want it right at the top to leave a little gap at the bottom, because this trim is going to be coming round here. So we need it right into the top to leave a small gap underneath for the trim to sit under, the wood trim. Ta-da!